Bloodwolf Arts Studio. Unleash the artist within. Welcome to Bloodwolf Arts Studio, and I'm your host, Mr. Moonlight. So today we're talking about the next book I'm going to be reading, or the next story I'm going to be reading is called The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. Now, this story was written in 1843, and it was actually inspired by an actual murder and murder trial at the time. I guess more particularly just a murder at the time. But it occurred on April 6th, 1830, in the late hours in Salem, Massachusetts, and it was a case of an individual named John Francis Knapp, who hired another individual, Richard Crowninshield Jr. of Danvers, to kill another man named Joseph White. And they both ended up being caught and prosecuted by someone named Daniel Webster. And after they were caught, then the man who actually committed the murder, Richard Crowninshield Jr., he killed himself, and which exemplifies a lot in the story. It's exemplified a lot in the story that's about madness, eventually coming out of guilt, and that was ended up being his path he went down, and ultimately led to him killing himself. And the individual who was out for hire, or who hired the man, he ended up going to trial about 2 or 3 months later, and then was convicted about a month after that. And the individual who was the special prosecutor in the case, Daniel Webster, he ended up writing a little bit of a pamphlet that he published, and I'll read a little bit about that there that he talks about the case. And he says, and this is just some excerpts from his speech on the trial. An aged man without an enemy in the world, in his own house and in his own bed, is made the victim of a butcherly murder for mere pay. Truly, here is a new lesson for painters and poets. And this work was finished and ready to be printed by Edgar Allan Poe in 1842. He originally sent it out to a publisher called the Boston Miscellany, and they rejected that, and then shortly after submitted it to another publisher called the Pioneer on December 17th, 1842. It was accepted, and then it was published the next month essentially, and it went out in a literary magazine that people just would buy and read, or that would just go out. And it ended up being a magazine that didn't last very long, but that's a little bit of the story behind The Telltale Heart. So thank you for listening, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well as my TikTok, where I'm doing the readings of the stories, and follow my Facebook, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks.